What is up? Thank you so much for your time. In this video, we're going to be going over how to build a growth engine, or in other terms, how to document your processes the right way. I've gone ahead and documented our entire fulfillment process for our online coaching, consulting, agency service. If you have an online service-based business, or maybe you're running a course, coaching offer, productized service, this is essentially how to create the most efficient process to go about getting the result with the client. A lot of people think that they just need to document the process, or they just need to set up the automation to automate the process. But what we've learned working with our clients is that not only does documenting the process help and automating the process, but also visualizing it, as it can be a great tool for you to just mind map everything going on in your business and even communicate visually to your team members, your clients, and potential customers. What I'm going to be referring to is my onboarding and fulfillment process. I'm going to leave a link down below to this exact board inside of Miro that you guys can get access to, so you can copy it as I'm going along this and you can start to document your process at hand. Like I had said, guys, this is going to be from start to offboarding. And so this is where all of the magic happens here at start. And so this is where somebody finally agrees that they want to start working with you and your company. They've verbally communicated via sales call, or even giving you guys your first installment or payment for your services. And immediately what we're going to do is want to send that client service agreement. So right after either the payment is made, the deposit is put down, or we identify that we're getting started, immediately we're going to want to send over that client agreement. And I would also kind of inside the Miro board hyperlink your client agreement right in there. And if you don't have one, we have a ton inside of Systems Integrator and our Automation Accelerator mentorship. So now that we've gone ahead and started and sent the client the agreement, you'll notice that this box right here is turned a little. It's not just a square, it's slightly turned, meaning this is going to be a if-else statement, or yes, this might happen, or no, this might happen. So we use this to actually visualize the pathing between something happening and something not happening. So as you'll see right here, if the client agreement is signed, we're going to go ahead and continue. But if it's not signed, we're going to want to make sure that we're doing a follow-up, or we're reselling them on our service that they originally agreed to. This will allow you to know that maybe you need a follow-up SOP or a follow-up automation, or some type of template, so that this team member can identify what to do during that follow-up process. Each one of these stages is a client touch point. Foundational assets are necessary. If it's not signed, we're going to go ahead and follow up and resell them until it is signed, guys. We're just going to continue. Once it is signed, we're going to do a few things. And you can notice that these squares are like rectangles. They're half the size as these squares. And that is because it's actually representing an automated process itself, or something that our company is doing internally for them. Some people might have a done for you agency, a done with you, a do it yourself. But what I'm showing you guys right here is a hybrid version of all three of those. Once this has been signed, what are we going to do? We're creating the client project inside of our project management tools. And automation is triggering, where all the steps and instructions for getting our service done with the client, it is automatically put into a project in Asana with the client's information that they gave us when we sent that agreement. All done automatically with a Zap. But you can imagine, even if this wasn't automated, you're still going to want to manually create that client's project inside of your project management tool, so you can consolidate and organize that. And if you don't know what project management tool to use, I have a video on that as well. The second thing that's happening is we are creating the communication channel with the client, and ours is Slack. All of our clients have a Slack channel with us. We're able to automatically create that Asana project, and even then go ahead and start automatically creating that Slack channel where we're going to communicate about everything, and it will be relevant for these steps as well. Then we're going to go ahead and send them a welcome email. Inside the welcome email, it should include your onboarding form, your onboarding call link, your Google Drive folder that you're setting up for them. Whatever they're getting access to, time to value immediately, is going to happen during sending that welcome email. And then finally, we're going to be scheduling the kickoff call. Because the kickoff call is in the welcome email, it's in the same stage, and the client's going to go ahead and do it themselves, and they're going to be scheduling that kickoff call. And what you're going to do is go ahead and deliver that kickoff call. So now that we're up here, you can see this is a rectangle again. The first thing is that onboarding call, and we're going to want to make sure we record this this, use AI to take notes on it, prepare for it. Maybe we even have a playbook that you hyperlink to this stage that includes what a team member needs to do to deliver that kickoff call. Right now, what do we have just to get through this? We sent the client agreement, they went ahead and signed it. We created their client project in Asana, we created their Slack channel, we sent them the welcome email, and we also sent that welcome message in the Slack channel, and then we went ahead and had them schedule their kickoff call where ourselves or a team member has gone ahead and delivered that kickoff call. Now we have another if, else, yes, no statement right here, making sure that all of the calls throughout our engagement working with the client, any one-on-one calls, any weekly, bi-weekly, monthly calls are scheduled in advance. That way you don't need to go back and forth. Once again, yes or no, right? So are all of the calls with your client scheduled? If no, well then we're gonna need to follow up with them to schedule them. Ideally, we wanna do it on that kickoff call, making sure that all their calls are scheduled in. But if not, then we're gonna wanna go ahead and continue to follow up with them until we get these calls scheduled before moving on to anything else, guys. It's important you tell your team that before you move on to anything else, these stages need to happen in the exact process we put them in. And you can also communicate to your client, if any necessary stages you don't have the right requirements from them, that you're gonna put their account on pause until you can continue. That way you can remain effective and efficient throughout the whole process. All of the calls have been scheduled, right? So yes, now what are we gonna do? We're gonna deliver our first one-on-one implementation session. So implementation sessions are essentially what I'm referring to when I meant are the calls weekly, monthly, bi-weekly scheduled. So in order to build a productized service or a more scalable solution, a lot of it, which what you'll see here with the process map and the one I'll link down below, is hybrid. It's either done for you, right? It's either done with you or do it yourself. And so by predetermining what the client needs to do, as you'll see here in this stage and in this stage, the client will actually just do the actions or the homework that you're giving them necessary to get them the result. And they're gonna be showing up to these one-on-one implementation sessions with you where you go over anything specific that you need to implement with them. Obviously, you would have an agenda linked to this call so that you or a team member would know how to handle that call. But there is a difference between the onboarding call and the one-on-one implementation sessions. Onboarding call, usually done with a low-level team member, understanding, did you get access to everything that you signed up for, etc., and learning a little bit more about what the project's going to look like. From here, the implementation sessions are actually like deliverable based and even specifically what the client's paying for. These are also recorded, and we use AI to automatically transcribe these and give the client lifetime access to, which is a huge value add, right? Now that we've delivered the one-on-one implementation session, we're going to go ahead and do another yes or no statement. And this is going to be our foundational asset that we give our clients inside of the client project. And it's essentially their onboarding checklist, what they need to do in order to complete what we call the automated operating system tool. And this is going to be setting up the necessary tools inside their company, documenting their process, all of the things that our agency actually does with our clients, and all of the assets we already set up for our clients to get access to. They are going to have to go ahead and follow the instructions and steps inside of our product or service and go ahead and complete that, giving us everything we need internally to do those done for you elements. If that AOS tool is not complete, then we're going to need to create a catch-up plan with the client. But not only that, we're then going to have to implement on the catch-up plan, because this is different than the calls being scheduled. This is very deliverable based and value based. So from there, we're going to have to make sure we're creating that catch-up plan and even then implementing on it, trying to see, how can we help the client, maybe give them feedback? How can they go ahead and complete this foundational asset, which is going to get them the result in our program much quicker and back on track. Given that they go ahead and fill out this automated operating system tool sheet, what are we going to do next? Well, yes, it has been done. So now we have our second foundational asset, which is called our automated operating system canvas, which this is a second part of our service delivery, which includes the client completing various stages after the tool set. It's a Google sheet with like 10 sheets inside of it with a checklist of week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, what the client needs to do. And from there, if they go ahead and complete that first part, what do we do? Then we're going ahead and saying, did they complete that second part? And for us, this is taking their documentation, this is taking their tool stack, and then automating their business and giving them those automations. For us, this is more of a done for you element, right? But it does involve our client to be heavily involved throughout that process. After this is done, what do we go ahead and do? Well, if that canvas is not complete, we need to deliver another one-on-one implementation session, where then if the tool is complete, what do we do? Once again, we continue to go back in a loop. And a lot of you guys might pre-plan these implementation sessions sessions, either weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, like I had stated. So therefore, the client's not always going to get everything done right on time. They might have some discrepancies come up, etc., which is why in your offer, you're assuming for additional one-on-one implementation sessions. Therefore, until these foundational assets are complete, we're just continuously doing implementation sessions where we're either giving them feedback, helping them do the things that they weren't able to do. Now that they've completed both the foundational assets and we've continued to follow up with them and do those implementation sessions until the OS tool is complete and the OS canvas is complete, we are going to kind of go into our third phase of the engagement, which is going to be asking for a testimonial, number one, and then from there, delivering a goal setting session. Just like the kickoff call, it is different than the one-on-one implementation sessions. The goal setting session is going to be more of a ascension, right? It's where right away when your client gets that first huge win, whatever you guys are coaching them with, you're going to go ahead and right when that win happens, ask for that testimonial and deliver a goal setting session. This is going to be great if you record it as well to get a case study. This is also going to be great to, psychologically get your clients in the stage of ascending into your other service offering by setting their long-term goals with their company and how they want to work with your company. And so through this goal setting session, offer them ongoing support. This is where you'll get that ascension rate or offboarding rate, etc. And you might find that through doing the kickoff calls, the implementation calls, having that foundational asset, solving everything with the client communication beforehand, and then from there delivering that goal setting session, they're going to be more likely to continue working with your company on that monthly basis or in a different fashion or other service offerings that you have. So from here, if they say no, we're going to go ahead and start our offboarding process. Once again, we'll probably want some type of SOP or playbook for the offboarding process, just like everything else in here. And if you guys don't have those, then our community is where you can find all of these. But a good majority of people, will go ahead and offboard. Don't take it personally, but a certain amount of people that really liked working with you and got an amazing result are going to go ahead and say yes, which is why we have two different service offerings depending on what that next problem we're going to solve with our client is. You can imagine that our offers aren't different services. They're the same service with different levels of support and different processes like this and assets to get them a result. So they might have a different problem that we need to solve in our service. From there, we're going to send them into either service offering 1 or service offering 2. For us, our service offering 1, going ahead and continue to work on a monthly basis, refining their systems that we've set up inside their company. Offer number 2 is setting them up a automated AI outbound system using Clay to start doing outbound prospecting with email. You can imagine there are 2 different price points, 2 different problems that we're solving, but now we can essentially offer them ongoing support and get them to ascend into that other service offering where they will go through a process just like this once again. But from here, guys, this is everything you need to go ahead and turn your service-based business into a productized service offering where you can imagine the only thing tied to our time, because this is automated, setting the agreement, the client project and Slack channel is automated in the welcome email. All of these things are automated as well. Well, the only things that we need to do internally are 1, deliver that onboarding call, 2, deliver those one-on-one implementation sessions with the client, and 3, deliver that goal setting session with the client. Everything else, like the internal asset, like our AOS, canvas, or tool, is going to be done by the client. We've predetermined the things that they need to do, the process they need to do it in, exactly what level of support our company is going to give them throughout that. Therefore, pretty much this is the most leveraged way to offer your service. Let's say that it's fitness coaching or online coaching of mindset or something like that. We don't want to do an agency model with that, but we don't want to just give them a course or a community, but we want to do a high ticket offer where they get access to us, our agency, our team members, our talent. Literally nothing changes except for the internal asset. So if I was a fitness trainer, I would have a fitness tool and a fitness canvas, and this would be pretty much creating their meal plan off of our meal plans that we already have available, creating their workout routines off of our best workouts that we already have available. Given that they need support during some point with us, we can go ahead and either deliver it during the one-on-one implementation session or inside of our client Slack channel. So guys, this is the most leveraged way to go ahead and perform your service offering, whether it's high ticket, mid ticket, or lower ticket in 2025. And I believe that you will see a lot of people starting to offer their services in a unique way. One reason why this is super important is because you cannot be commoditized with this. You cannot go ahead and find this on Fiverr or by any other service provider, as this is all created off of feedback and reiteration with our clients. Therefore, what that means is if you want want, someone to come in and automate your business, document your process, and set up all your systems and tech stack, also consult with you during that process and give you access to all of our internal assets, you're not going to be able to do it. All of it is intellectual property. We're actually building equity, proving product market fit with our service. It's very important. That part, I would definitely recommend thinking about that, because what this is a product or service process that you cannot get anywhere else after you continue to reiterate after months or years working with your clients. So this took me a long time to get to here. This video also took a lot of time in mapping this out and the Miro board. So guys, if you got a ton of value from this, please let me know what you thought about this video. Please comment down below as well. If you guys had trouble seeing the board throughout this whole process, then go ahead and click the link. Like I said, down below, it's going to have the Miro board where you can copy this and start editing all the stages for yourself. But I would definitely recommend doing it in a format like this. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next video.